super chemist out there. I wanted to go over the notes we went through in class today doing some more stoichiometry. So the first day in stoichiometry, we just did mole to mole conversions. They were quick, 2 steps. Now today what we did is we added grams, we added mass. And the reason we did that was because when you're in a science lab, you're never really counting 1 mole, 2 mole, 3 mole. You're weighing things by grams, okay? So here goes. Just like yesterday, the very first thing we're going to do is balance this equation, okay? 1K, 1K, 1Cl, 1Cl, 3 oxygens, 2 oxygens. That doesn't work. So remember when we're balancing our equations, if it doesn't work, we go back to the first one and we put a number 2 there. And that should help us out. So now we have 2 Ks. So I'll put a 2 on that side so I have 2 Ks. 2 Cls, 2 Cls. 2 times 3 is 6 oxygens. I've got to get 6 oxygens over here. So I'll put a big coefficient of 3 right there. Now when I read my problem, it says if 1.5 moles of this stuff, it is really a good habit to just write what you're given with the quantity above it in the balanced equation so you don't have to go back and keep reading those problems. Decomposes how many grams of oxygen are produced. All right, so I have moles and grams. Whenever you have grams and moles or moles and grams, it's going to be 3 steps. And if you don't have 3 steps, then you've done something wrong along the way. The first step is the same as it was yesterday. We're going to take what's given and we just put it right over 1. Okay? Xy poo-poo, because I know there's going to be 3 steps. Now I want to get rid of this substance right here. And so to get rid of it, I write it in the bottom of the next step. I want to go to grams of this stuff. Okay, that's what it asked me for in the problem. But you cannot go directly to grams of something. You have to go to moles of it first. Moles are like your base unit. So I want to be in grams of oxygen. So I'll go to moles of oxygen first to help me get there. Now, just like yesterday, we have moles over moles. So these numbers are going to come from the balanced equation. So when I look up here at O2, I have a 3. And when I look at this, I have a 2. Okay? Now, Xy poo-poo, can cross those out. I don't want to be in moles of oxygen. I don't want to be in it, so I put it in the bottom of the next step. I want grams of oxygen. Moles to grams. Moles is going to get 1. And that's from our happy cloud back last semester. And grams is going to come from the periodic table. So when I look at the periodic table, oxygen has a mass of 16. But there's 2 of them there. So 16 plus 16 is 32. Now you're going to plug all of this into your calculator. 1.5 times 3 times 32 equals. Divided by 2 equals. And you should get 72 grams of oxygen. Okay? I'm going to do one more example with you, which is example 6 on this page. Okay, so this was example 4. I'm going to skip down to example 6 and do one more with you. Okay, let's see. So in example 6, I'm going to write the equation. And because I am a super stoichiometrist, the first thing I'm going to do is balance that equation. So there's my equation, okay? And I have 1 Na, 1 Na. 2 hydrogens, 1, 2, 3 hydrogens. Well, that doesn't work. Well, if it doesn't work, I go back to the beginning and I put a 2 in front of it. So now I have 2 NAs, 2 NAs, 2 hydrogens here, but on this side I've got a bunch of junk going on. I've got 2 hydrogens there, plus I've got those 2. So on this side I really have 4 hydrogens. So to get 4 on this side, I put a 2 in front of it. 2 oxygens, 2 oxygens, I am good to go. Now, when I read this example 6, it says how many moles of water? So right above water, I put question mark moles. Are needed to react with 6.23 grams of sodium. Okay? So I see grams, I see moles. I know right away 3 steps. And I know the first step is always going to be the same. There we go. Now, whenever you are in grams as a superchemist, I want you to train your mind to just automatically convert back to moles. So we're going to get rid of grams of sodium. And we're going to go to moles of sodium. All right? Now, from our happy cloud from back in the day, moles gets 1. Grams comes from the periodic table. So when you look at the periodic table for Na, its mass is about 23. I'm in moles of sodium. I don't want to be there. I'm going to get rid of it in the next step by putting it on the bottom. And I can go now to moles of what I want, which is moles of water. Moles over moles, these numbers come from the balanced equation. So 2 and 2. All right? Plug and chug into your calculator. You should get something that looks like this. Now, don't take for granted that you don't need to practice putting this in your calculator, because it is a real kick in the pants. If you do all of this hard work and you get it right, but you get the answer wrong because of a calculator issue. So make sure you're always practicing with that so that's not going to happen to you. This concludes my little talksy poo-poo about adding grams to stoichiometry. I hope it is helpful, and I can't wait to see you guys in class. Toodles poodles.